What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Saturday, January 10th, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today. She has had a plethora of years in the media industry, being a reporter, producer, anchor, all the above. All right. And we're going to find out about her why of getting into journalism. We're also going to find out what she does nowadays. Her name is Marty Davis. And we're going to talk to her again about her why of getting into journalism. But we're also going to ask her some get to know you questions. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Marty. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I'm so excited to be here. I really am. Thank you for asking me.
No, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. No question about that. And listen, my first question to you, Marty, is the same question as it always is with everybody that comes on this podcast, and it's really simple. What is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations, maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into the journalism industry?
Are you talking the journalism industry? Well, the interesting thing, Chris, is growing up, I was pathologically shy.
Hmm.
And I was pathologically shy into my early adulthood. And I wanted to be a newspaper reporter because I never even thought of broadcasting. And then
Okay.
when I was in Detroit, I took a radio production and television production class, and I was a DJ on the closed circuit college, whatever it is, and
Hmm.
I decided that I was going to do whatever it took to improve myself. So I started out at an ABC owned and operated station in Detroit, and I started getting confident. And then I went to a television station in Detroit. Then it was a CBS affiliate at the time. And I remember I participated in an investigation into corrupt mechanics. And of course, Detroit is the Motor City. And I
Right.
remember getting interviewed, and I watched the interview and I was lisping. I didn't know I had a lisp. So then I went to San Diego, and I didn't stay there very long because my dad died. I came back.
Mm.
I got a job as a news director of a radio station, which meant I had to talk on the air on radio.
Right.
And I'll tell you, Chris, I listened to every one of my bloody tapes. Even when I got to TV later in Michigan as a television anchor, I did the same thing. I watched my ear checks uh, obsessively to see how I could improve myself. And from there, I went to network radio, and I did more TV. I was Larry King's news anchor in his 5-hour syndicated overnight radio show in 1979. So,
Wow.
yeah, I used to joke I spent every night with Larry King and nothing ever happened. You know Larry's reputation. Yeah,
I
you
do.
know.
I do.
He's a he was a player, let me tell you. And so he had started there in 78 after he escaped Miami because of gambling debts. Larry was, but I think he got out of a lot of that stuff. He stopped smoking and whatever, and
Right.
he started taking care of himself. He still liked to gamble, however, but that was interesting. And then I did other gigs at that network, and where'd I go from there? Oh, I was also working at WTOP, the all news station in DC. And
Okay.
I did that. I did urban radio. I did the two top radio stations, urban stations, WKYS and WPGC. I was news anchor. And
Hmm.
yeah, I did that. listen, I've been all over the place. I've done classical radio. Um, I remember in DC there was a classical radio station, and certainly one had to uh, modify one's writing and delivery. And I remember one day I landed a joke as a kicker about Jay Leno making a joke about Dick Cheney not having a heart. Lee
Oh
Abrams,
boy,
you know Lee Abrams?
I
Lee
do.
Abrams. All
Yes,
right. Lee was driving down the street and he said he nearly ran off the road after he heard me do that kicker, which was totally inappropriate for that station. And
sure.
yeah, Lee and I've been friends since the ABC days back in Detroit in 1971 because he was the Wonder Boy program director of the nascent FM station there. And he was 18 years old. Lee
Wow,
he had a major crush on me. I think he
I
still
can
did.
understand that.
Yeah, well, when he went to XM, I went over there and he had me do a few commercials and stuff, but we've been friends for, well, since 1971. But I was
Wow.
married. I was married. I was 21 and he was 18, but I really liked him a lot. However, I was already uh, previously engaged, married to someone else.
Mm,
So anyway, that didn't work out. So where am I? Let's see. I'm in DC, and
yeah.
that's where I ended my career on the air, except for, occasional appearances and stuff like that. Radio stations would call me, like in New York and whatever, for my sage opinion, and
Right.
that's about it. Right now, I'm writing on LinkedIn. I had a national media and political blog for 7 years, from 2007 to 2014, which was well read, by the way,
Okay.
by people in our industry. So I did that, but I burned out on it. It's easy to burn out on something like that. And,
Right.
I mean, that's that's basically where I'm at. And I have to sit down and write that book that I've been pressured to write for years. And by Jim Bohannon, he was a friend of mine. I appeared on his nationally syndicated radio show after he took over for Larry quite a few times. We would do a year-end show with a couple of guys, and we would discuss the year. And then I mean, he was on me. He was on me to do that book, and
Right. Right.
he titled it "Capital Missteps," and it was based on Rita Jenrette allegedly having sex with her congressman husband on the Capitol steps behind a pillar, although she denied it. And that's how the Capitol Steps troupe, a comedy
Mm,
and singing troupe, started. A bunch of Senate staffers started this thing. It was really funny, and I don't think they're active today, but anyway, and then I got this CIA guy who's been on me to do it too. He ghosted former DCI George Tenet's book, The Acting DCI, Mike Morrell, and the guy who started enhanced interrogation techniques,
mm.
Jose Rodriguez. So, he's a writer. Has an agent. And he likes my story. Let's just say, Chris.
Sure. So sure, absolutely, and I'm finding your story of your wife being very fascinating as well. And listen, I want to ask you because you did go to Central Michigan University. I don't know if you're from Detroit, but Detroit is known for the zip code of 313. I'm very fond of
Mhm,
Detroit myself. I've been there a few. Not a few. I've been there a couple times. I do plan on
mhm.
going back to Detroit and just the Michigan area. I'm a Michigan type of guy. I'm a Midwest type of guy, so I love that. But I want to ask you, were there any other schools that you were considering other than Central Michigan University, and if so, what were those schools?
The only reason I went to Central, Chris, was because my dad went there. I didn't, he went there, so I figured I was going to go there. And the deal was I was supposed to be a kindergarten teacher because my dad was superintendent of schools in Dearborn, where I grew up. And so
Okay.
I was supposed to be a teacher, and it just didn't turn pan out because I student taught for a week and quit because remember, I was still pathologically shy, and
Right.
I, I was unable to do this. I mean, seriously, unable. When I was a kid, if I had to give a book report, I'd run out of the room. So, I mean, I grew
Mm,
up in a really emotionally sterile environment because my mother was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic in the 50s. So
wow.
there, yeah, I know. So therefore, there there was no, it was like a hermetically sealed environment. No arguments, none of that. So I actually, looking back, I really like that because I I I counsel people in 12-step programs because I was the first time I ever took a drink was 16 and I was already a drunk. It wasn't like some progressive thing. No way.
Right.
So I drank for 31 years and I ended up in treatment and I got out and I've been going full tilt boogie for almost 30 years, helping people. You ask the why. Well, I'll tell you what the why is today. It's service. My mission is to serve
Okay.
others who have difficulties like addiction, family dynamics issues, relationships, and I work primarily in the program of Codependence Anonymous. And I would say, in the years I've been doing it, a 98% success rate. I started Codependence Anonymous when I moved to Charleston with another AA lady who had some experience in the program. And the gals wanted something to deal with their emotional issues because AA doesn't necessarily deal with that. And the thing is that Codependence Anonymous is a really intense program. It's a
Right.
12-step program, but it's far more intensive than the other than than AA. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's what I do on the side. Well, maybe not on the side. I have a sponsee who lives in Thailand, who lived in Charleston and moved to Thailand. We have a standing appointment every week, Chris. This is my life. This is my life. And if I can be assistance to anybody, um, that's that's my mission now. That's the why now. The why back then I didn't know other than to try to to learn how to communicate. So, I think a lot of people in our business have difficulty communicating, and sometimes what I've seen, they get in the business, so they learn how to communicate. If that makes any
Right.
sense to you, you know?
Perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, well, that's what happened with me. And I I just I loved the business back then. I do not love TV news now. I love radio. I really love radio. And doing radio news is, as you well know, totally different than what's on TV today,
Yeah, without
24/7.
question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely
It
different.
wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. How old are you?
I'll be 39 February 2nd.
Oh, I must write that down. 39. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, 39.
Well, so you weren't even born when I got into this biz. It was over
Mm,
50 years ago. So,
you
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. But,
Mhm.
I don't understand your generation. I don't. I don't. I mean, how did you get in the biz?
Oh, it was simple for me. For me, I'm a huge sports guy. So for certain, growing up in San Diego, but also transplanting. to Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I went to school at. I graduated from Kennesaw State University with my
Mhm.
bachelor's and my master's. At that particular time, I played sports growing up, and I was like, listen, I'm going to be involved in sports somehow, some way. So whether playing or writing about it or whatever, I started to get involved, school wise, as I try to tell all my youngsters of the high school level and the college level, get involved. So I got involved there, did internships, found out what I liked to do, what I didn't like to do. And then all of a sudden, I started writing for my magazine. Then I started writing for my school newspaper. Then I went from there and started doing it locally, where I started covering different sports of high school.
Mhm.
Then it got to a point where I graduated, and then I got my first full-time job in Minnesota, and I started covering not
Oh, you
only
went to
high
Minnesota.
schools, right? Not only high schools, but now college. And then I started to branch off in the freelance type of world and started doing professionally. So I started doing all that. And that's what I'm doing now up here in upstate New York. I'm doing more freelance. And that's how last year I was able to get to the Super Bowl. And this year I'm also getting ready now to get myself together and go back to the Super Bowl in San Francisco. So that's how I got involved. Was pretty much I love sports with a passion, and I knew sports was going to be in my life. I just didn't know in what capacity as I was younger.
Well, I certainly like the way your career has evolved, Chris. I mean, this is cool. You start out, you were playing, and then you took the steps, you know, and you were determined. You were determined to succeed in the biz. I mean, totally. And look where you are now.
Absolutely,
I mean,
yes. Thank is the
seriously.
blessing.
Well, honestly, it's hard work. It
It
really
is
is. You knew what your passion is. And the thing is, and you know this, and I'm not saying anything that you don't know. You
right.
got to follow your passion. That's the thing. You've got to follow your passion. If you have one,
Absolutely.
you've got to find one. You got to
Hmm.
find your passion. And as a kid, you love sports, and that
I
was
did.
that was going to be your thing. Sports was going to be your
Absolutely.
thing,
Mm.
and I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with your career path and how you forged ahead to get to where you are today. And
Absolutely.
I hope I live long enough to see you on one of the major networks or ESPN or
Hmm.
whatever. I hope I live long enough. I don't know if that's going to happen, but maybe I will.
Well,
You
listen,
never
like
know.
I told you prior to this even starting or prior to us starting recording, I said, whatever you're doing, continue to doing it because you look amazing. And you probably feel that way too. I know there's some days that you probably wake up and say, whew, I feel every bit of what my age may be. But hey, as long as you continue doing what you're doing, Marty, like I said, I think that you will. Because my goal is definitely to be on some of a national type of
You
a
will.
type of you know what I mean?
You're,
But and
you're
like you said, there's steps. There's steps to it. So
you're
and I'm
going to
definitely
get
willing to
there.
take that. So
I'm entirely confident, Chris, that you are going to get there because you have the drive and the talent and the voice. My God, you were blessed with a great set of pipes. And I mean, this is just cool. I mean, I love it. I absolutely
well,
love I'm loving seeing where your career is going. And I'm so grateful that you decided to reach out to me to talk. I mean, I feel honored that you decided to talk with me because I love doing this. I do it periodically, like I told you before, on major market, middle, media markets, or whatever. If they call me, I'm
sure,
going to talk with them, and
sure,
why not? Why not? I uh, they want to ask my opinion on things or whatever. I'll give it to them straight. I've always been an equal opportunity poison pen when I'm writing. I mean, it's not like I've got some ideology or anything like that. I do have a little
sure.
bit, but you know what I'm saying, you know?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I absolutely loathe social media. I got back on Facebook to go on Marketplace, but now I'm getting a little bit more active. What else have I done? I was on Twitter when it basically first started because I had my blog, and I remember back then people weren't blogging on weekends. 2007. Seriously.
Wow. Yeah.
I had I had two Facebook pages. I had a uh, personal one and a professional Facebook page. Back then, it was, I guess, I don't know if you can do it now, but when I got back on, it was totally flummoxed because I didn't understand Facebook. I still don't. I'm supposed to be writing on Substack. I do have an account, but I have written not much because I gotta learn Substack. I don't know Substack, so I gotta learn how to do it. Um,
Right.
and I'll do it. I have people who told me they'll subscribe for X amount of dollars a year if I start the bloody thing. But I just haven't done it. I mean, TikTok, my friend,
Pretty much.
TikTok. Yeah.
Pretty much. I'll tell you this before I get to the next favorite question of that. And the funny story of you said, and I appreciate the words that you said. Thank you so much. My first internship, Marty, was an internship with the Knoxville Ice Bears. And the reason why I want to tell you about this internship is because I've told people this story before, and there's people that said you got to make sure that you hold on to this story because this is something that a lot of people are going to want to know and hear. So at the time, I was going to school, and I was also working full time. I had my own place. I was doing my own thing, moving and grooving. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I did not have a car. So a lot of the times I would get around Uber style, or I would be able to get a ride here, right there. I went to an Atlanta Falcons career fair. It's how I got wind of this Knoxville Ice Bear internship. It was a game day operations. They actually called me about 3 weeks later. They said, "Hey, would you like to come up to Knoxville and work some games? We have an internship, and you can earn internship credit for that." I said, "Sure." It was the first time I ever got called to do anything sports wise, so I'm happy as hell at that point. But of course, I don't have a car. And I've never been to Tennessee to that point. So I didn't know how far Knoxville was. I knew it wasn't a skip, hop, and a jump. I knew I would
No,
probably would have to
not
travel a
at
little
all.
bit. Right. So I ended up devising a plan to get to Knoxville, which was one, I would pay $5 every weekend. They had games on Fridays and Saturdays every single weekend for like 3 months straight. So Sunday through Thursday, I would be working. And I would go to school online. I had my classes online for that semester, and then Fridays and Saturdays I would travel to Knoxville via megabus. It took me
Mm.
4 hours, so I would catch the megabus at 6 in the morning. I would get to Knoxville at 10 in the morning. I would check into a hotel, which I paid for, and then I would stay there for the 2 nights. Leave Saturday night, late Saturday night, get back early Sunday morning, and then head to work on Sunday. And I would do that for 3 months consecutively every Friday and Saturday because I was that dedicated to be able to want to learn about what it is to work for a professional sports team. Now, again, game day operations was great. It wasn't something that I really was like overjoyed in doing, but at the same time, it gave me valuable experience, and it was my first ever internship. And I remember catching those mega buses for sure.
I love that story. I love it because it goes right back to what I divined about you is your energy, your dedication, your drive. And, I'm really good at reading people because I'm also metaphysical. Um, and
Mm.
I've been reading tarot cards for 45 years. And
Oh
we have a
wow,
group.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, we have a group here, three ladies. One's a professional astrologer from California. The other reads tarot cards, and she was a chaplain in New York. But anyway, we get together every every 10 days or so, and we call ourselves the Three of Cups based on, I've got this thing right here, based on this tarot card, which is the Three of Cups with women dancing joyously. You see it?
Okay.
In
I
a
do see it.
circle with the cups signifies love. Anyway, so anyway, I've been this way all my life since I was a kid. And so it was really great to meet these two other gals who live here and get together and read cards. I love reading cards, and I'm good at it, and the other gal's good at it, and the other one, the astrologer, is learning, and we're learning more about astrology. And
Right.
so the thing is, I'm like I said, I'm repeating myself. I'm really great at reading people. I don't I don't like talking about myself. What I do with people
Mm,
is I listen, I watch their body language, and I just absorb their energy. So, that's what I do. And I don't, you get what I'm saying.
I
You
do.
get what I'm saying. I look in your eyes and I see a lot. I mean, seriously.
I
And
appreciate that.
yeah, yeah, I can pick up a lot. And we just get together and we look at the planetary movements and how it's affecting the world. It's not an easy time right now, and it's not, buckle up, my friend. It's going to be a bumpy
Absolutely.
ride, as Joan Crawford said in some movie, and I don't remember. But seriously, I'm seeing it. I read so much. I read all the papers, and people are checking off the planet. There's all sorts of weird shit going on. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy right now to be on this planet. And I've talked about social media before, but the negativity of humans, it just blows my mind how negative people are and how naive they are and how they buy into to uh, all sorts of things without any critical thinking. Where is critical thinking? You have a master's degree and a bachelor's, so do I. Where is the critical thinking? Is it being taught in
Right.
schools? You know, I I certainly have to verify, Chris, everything. I don't believe everything that comes down the pike when it comes to the media and social media, X and all this
Absolutely.
Instagram, and I don't believe any of that.
Right.
I,
Go to the
I
source. Go to the
well,
source.
that's what we learned in journalism school. That's what we learned in journalism school. You got
Right.
you got to get sources. And I'm really dismayed. I truly am dismayed at the dumbing down of the American education system and culture, the superficiality, the influencers. I loathe that term too. And it's just well, you know,
I do.
you
I do know.
I mean you know exactly what's going on. And
Absolutely.
I'm
I do.
yeah, and the cell phones and and computers and everything, kids on cell phones. My daughter wouldn't let one of my grandsons have one until he was 15, but she buckled and let him have it at, maybe it was 14 or 13. I don't know. But certainly that's, an 8-year-old with a mobile phone. I don't think so. I mean, it's nuts. And some of these schools are starting to ban kids using cell phones. They got to put them in some lockbox or whatever. I know I'm going
Absolutely.
off. I know I'm going off on this, but I'm just really concerned. Do you have any kids?
I do not. I do not have any children at the moment, I should say. Who knows what the future may hold. But at the same time, I'm also a substitute teacher, so I definitely understand
Oh,
what you're talking about a lot. You know, I go to these schools and I do two different districts, so I go to these schools and you see these kids getting these phones locked up in lockers, and these teachers walk around with the different kind of monitors where you got to tap the phone because they lock the phone for the rest of the day, and before the kids go, they have to unlock their phones and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying, Marty, for sure. It's a different time, even different time from me, from now, from what your era was to my era to now, even now, to now what the era is now with these kids. So, no question about that. I wanna get
wait,
into
let
some
me ask
favorite.
you one thing.
Go ahead.
What do you teach?
So as a substitute, my job is to fill in for whatever role that is for that particular teacher. So it could be anything from K to 12,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm certified for that. It could be any subject. You know, it could be English, it could be social studies, art, math, PE, could be any type of subject. Special education could be that too. So it's just a matter of who I need to fill in for, more so of outside of the subject, because my job is to be a substitute and sub in for that teacher that needs to be there. And I love doing that because of the flexibility. It
Mm-hmm.
allows me to go off and, be able to go to the Super Bowl because I'm going to more than likely be gone for about 9 days,
Yeah.
the end of January till about the middle, almost the middle of February, or, go to these different events that I'll do, but then also come back and be able to substitute teach. So I like the flexibility of that and doing that for sure.
Well, I love, Chris, that you're doing service work. It is
Absolutely.
that really impresses me too. You're the total guy, the total package, for God's sakes. I mean, really, you've got so much talent. And my daughter substitute teaches too. She did when they were in Florida, and now she's doing it in Georgia. So yeah,
Mm.
and she has flexibility. I have three grandsons, 15, 13, he'll be 14 soon, and 12. So, I I think they're getting a pretty good education where they are in Georgia, and
Mm.
it's so important. It is just totally important, and we talked
Absolutely. I
about it.
agree.
We've already talked about it, and I just pray that there is some sort of societal reversal where uh, people start realizing that there's more to life than social media and mobile phones and computers. Uh, I understand from some of the stuff I've been reading that some of the kids are getting tired of this and
Hmm.
starting to go out and play and read books and things of that nature rather than
Right.
uh, stay on their phones and their other devices, iPads or whatever. But I don't know if it's true. I read about it, but that doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
As we
Yeah.
discussed, we've we've discussed that the media sure uh, have changed because I it's just not what it was before. All right, you go on to
Right.
your other subject. You were going to ask me something else.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was going to ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions that I got for you. So my first favorite question is, what is your favorite meal, Marty, that you like to cook?
Um, Filet mignon.
All right, you got my heart already. There's no question about
Yeah,
that. Who does not like a good steak? Now, how do you like to make your steak?
rare,
Okay, I
really
like
rare.
that. I like it. I'm a
But
medium rare guy.
oh, okay. Well, when I make the steak for you when you come here, since I think we might see each other in the near future or maybe later future, but I will make you a fillet to die for.
I love it.
Seriously, to
I love it.
die for. All right, what's next?
Absolutely.
And by the
Absolutely.
way,
And
when I was on WKYS in Washington, I had to
yeah.
start out my newscast saying, "Here's the 411." It was funny, because you said 411. I love it. Okay.
I was gonna
Continue.
ask you before I got to the next one. Are you in Georgia as well?
No, I'm in South Carolina on the border of South Charlotte.
Oh, okay. South Carolina. Yes, very fond with that too. Obviously, Greenville, Charleston is two cities that I've been to pretty good. So I know those cities pretty well. But yeah, okay, got you. I
I
love South Carolina. Love
I
South
lived
Carolina.
in Charleston for 13 years.
Yes. Hilton Head. Hilton Head is also a
Oh yeah.
place that I like as well. No
Well,
question.
you gotta come here. You
No
gotta come
question.
here.
No question. Definitely,
Definitely.
definitely will. Definitely will definitely come back there as I have southern roots over there as well. So I love that. My next question to you is favorite concert you've ever attended.
I'm not much of a concert person, but it was Earth, Wind, and Fire in DC. It
All
was in
right
the
now.
80s. It was in early 80s.
Okay. Okay. So the elements, earth, wind,
Yep.
and fire. You can't go wrong with them. No question about
Well,
that.
I'm still an urban person. All I listen to is urban music. I'm from Detroit, but then again, I this is what I like, and that's what I listen to. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm going to have a song played at my memorial. It's In the Stone. The
Ooh,
song Earth,
okay.
Wind, and Fire in the Stone. Earth, Wind, and Fire, they're really spiritual. If you went back and looked at their album covers with the
Mm,
pyramids on it and everything, and that's my thing, the metaphysical world and being spiritual. And the message in the stone is 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 to look for the light and your higher power. That's what I feel. But anyway,
I love it. I love it. Earth, wind, and fire. No, I love that. Obviously, my favorite song of theirs is Fantasy.
oh yeah.
Um, no question. That's my favorite song of theirs, but they have a lot of hits that I love. But I love that. I love that selection and choice. Now, I'm going to ask you, favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Let me see. Um, I would have to say Israel.
Ooh, okay. Now, what kind of trip was that? Was that a family trip? Was that a self trip, a girlfriend trip? What kind of trip was that?
I don't know if you know a whole hell of a lot about me. I was married to a member of Congress. It was a CODEL, a congressional delegation, and
Mm,
it went to um, Israel, and I think
o-
it went to Egypt too. I loved Egypt, by the way. I loved the pyramids at
okay.
during the day and at night. Have you been to
Mm.
Israel?
I have not. That's on the bucket list for me, though. No question.
Oh, it was fantastic. We when we were in Egypt, I got on a camel and I had a guide and everything like that. It was the coolest thing, but I really enjoyed Israel. I like the Middle East. And my brother, he speaks fluent Arabic among I don't know how many other languages, but he went to the American University in Cairo. He has a PhD from Michigan State, but he's in London now. He's a couple of years younger than me. And yeah, it was fascinating because I'd never been anywhere like that in the Middle East. And it was quite an education, I thought. Um, so that was, I don't know what year that was, 81, 79. Who knows? I don't remember. Maybe
Wow. Okay.
I can only remember so much.
I understand. But no, that's a hell of a place to say. I think you're the first person on here on my podcast that's ever said Israel. For sure. I have not heard that place of asking that question before. And I've done over about 350, 360 plus episodes of this Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. So I love the fact that the different places because it puts in my mind of where to go and where to visit. And Israel and Egypt is definitely two places that I wouldn't mind going for sure.
Yeah, well, make sure you don't drive in uh, Cairo because uh,
Mm,
they don't drive very well there. But I just loved it, and the spiritual aspect of it. You know where I'm coming from now. Um,
I do.
my hu- my husband was elected in my late husband, 1978, and he had 7 terms in Congress. We went on other trips, but that was the most significant one. He died in 2009. He was 77. He was my age. I don't know if that means I'm going to check off the planet either, but he would have been 93 this last year. So,
Wow.
I
Wow.
tell you, the thing is about life, you just don't know when you're going to exit the planet. You just don't know, obviously.
Right. Right. Enjoy every day like it's your last, right?
Exactly. And also listen to one's higher power, because we do get messages. I got a message once. I was in North Carolina, in rural North Carolina, and I got
Mhm.
the message, slow down, a tree's going to fall. And I listened to the message. I slowed down, and this
Hmm.
giant tree fell in the road. But see, I don't panic. All I did was turn around and go the other way. And I don't make a big deal out of it. But,
Right.
certainly you trust trust your higher power, because your higher power, no matter what it might be to you, is looking out for you all the time, and
Okay.
to protect you, and surround yourself with white light, because that's protection.
I
It
love
is.
it.
I
I
know,
love it. No, that's what's up.
I'm serious. I when I was a little kid, I used to communicate with the universe by lying on the grass in my backyard at night and talking to the universe. I know this sounds crazy, um, but it's not. It's not. We all have the potential to expand our intuition. We do.
Right.
All right,
Right.
I'm
No,
done
no,
with
no.
that.
You're good. You're good. No, absolutely. No. In all seriousness, all of us as kids, all of us as kids, even as adults, we all have our things that we like to do. I know I've laid up many nights, looked in the sky, looked in the stars, and had conversations. We all
Good.
have our quiet times to where we had talk, and we need that. We need that for our our mental health is what I was going to say, which is a great segue eventually, because the next question I'm going to ask you outside of the favorite things is going to be about mental health. But I want to get to two more favorite things first, and that is I'm a sports person, Marty. So I want you to tell me what is your favorite sport that you like to watch on TV and favorite sport you like to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
I would say basketball.
I would say you on point like a period. That's what I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I always liked basketball. My dad played basketball at Central Michigan University. I have a photograph somewhere framed of him. He was not a tall man.
Mhm.
However, he played basketball, and I just like watching it. It's a fast game,
Okay. Well, you
you
already got
know.
me smiling. You got me smiling already. So we are
Why?
already on good terms because basketball is my favorite sport.
All right, I'm going to give you a kiss. Mwah.
I know it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I love that. I love that, Marty. I want to ask you this final favorite before I get into the mental health, and that is
Okay.
I'm a foodie. So I'm a foodie person. I love food. I love doing what I do. I want to ask you, what is your favorite place that you like to go out and eat at?
Let me see. Different time periods, there were, but you want to know now. Okay.
Well. Now, yeah, because I definitely want to. When I do pull up to South Carolina, I want to be able to, be like, okay, Marty suggested this place. I should go there and give me something to eat, or it's a historic place close by, or maybe there's a place that just knocked your breath away that you visited and you just never forgot. Maybe I'll go there one day. Who knows?
No, you're going to come with me. I'm taking you. We're going to
Oh,
go,
okay. I love it.
we're, we're going to go to Emmett's in Waxhaw, North Carolina. It's not far
Oh,
from here.
you said a what? You said wax
Waxhaw,
what?
Waxhaw. It's an Indian name. WAXHAW.
Mm.
That's where we're
Okay.
going. We're going to
Okay.
go to Emmett's. It's in an old firehouse, and I like it.
Okay. What kind of food do they serve?
Just, like American food. I really
Okay.
love the salmon. I love salmon too.
Okay. All right. We
Do you like
talking now.
salmon?
Yeah, we talking now. Absolutely. No question
I
about that.
The best place to buy salmon is Whole Foods. Um, they really have good Atlantic salmon there. The price has jumped.
Okay.
I used to buy it for 9 something in Charleston. Now it's up to $15 here, at Whole Foods. That's how much the salmon has increased.
Oof.
9 to 15. What is that? $6? I'm not good at math.
Yep, that's a $6 increase for sure. Uh,
Insane.
wow,
That's
that is
insane.
insane.
You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
between that and shrinkflation. Okay, now what?
Well, listen, we're definitely gonna go to Emmys, no question about that, and I'm looking forward to that. But I wanna ask you about mental health and work life balance, especially being in this industry. As a journalist myself, I'm going on year 9 of being a journalist. I've seen journalists step away because of their mental health being affected. I've seen journalists step away because of their work life balance not being right, and particularly because in my opinion, I don't ever think you have a 100% balance of work life balance in this industry. You work long hours, especially if you're in sports. You're doing evenings and weekends, which business hours people are typically off at those times, so they don't really, it doesn't really correlate. Schedules don't correlate with business hours in sports. And if you're news, you're also working through holidays such as
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, because it's
Yep.
all the time. News never stops, sports never stops. Tell me, how did you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work life balance? Because Marty, you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. There's no question about that. But you also seem like you are very dedicated and passionate about what you do. So tell me, how did you keep that balance without, having burnout?
Well, um, the thing about me, Chris, is like I lurch forward to everything. And I don't, most humans are fear based, or all of them, really. It's like a chronic condition with humans. And the thing is that the idea is that one must eradicate fear. That is one big thing. And
Mm,
I've always likened it to my 12-step people to an octopus. Here's fear. It says fear on the octopus on the head, and all the things like anger, resentment, jealousy, whatever, 7 deadly sins. And the idea is to kill the octopus. You got to kill the octopus. And I think that if one is fear based, then one may have a difficult time navigating the work and their whole life, planning their life and getting it together and making a balance between work and the rest of their lives. I I think uh, that there is a way to do it. I did it. I was a single parent when my daughter was young, and I was in DC doing news, and I would have somebody pick up my daughter from school. You got to live in the solution and not the problem. That's my
mm,
mantra. And you
I like
never
that.
allow any person, place, or thing to usurp your power ever. And I never use the word react, for example. I'll say respond. It's a matter of changing one's lexicon and thought process to find a new default rather than getting consumed with the problem. You live in the solution. That's my default. I i i don't get involved in that. I don't like chaos and other people's chaos. In fact, my energy is so high and my vibrations are so high that people who are low level are repelled by me. They don't even want to be around me. Um, and it's really weird about energy and vibrations and everything. But in the workplace, um, you just you just walk through it. You go forward, not backward,
Right.
and you
Right.
don't get in that fear space. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to juggle this or that or whatever? You don't do that. You find a way. I remember one of the guys when I was working at NBC's Washington Bureau radio station. He would call my daughter when I was on my way home and talk to her. She was home by herself, and
Right.
he would talk to her until I got there. One of my co-anchors would talk with, I mean, look at, you find a way. And you don't throw up your hands and say, "Oh, I can't do that." I told my grandsons there's no such word as can't. I learned that
Mm.
from a seventh grade math teacher. And I still remember Mr. Seitz. There's no such word as can't. You're unable or unwilling, but can't, forget about it. You're not gonna use that word. You
I
understand what I'm
like it.
saying? You
I
don't
do
use
understand
words.
what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't use words like hate. That's really strong. I tell them to use loathe. That's a better word. I loathe that.
Dislike. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Don't you
For
think?
sure. For sure. Absolutely. You definitely don't want to use hate unless you really do feel that way, right? It's like you definitely don't want to pull a gun out on somebody unless you're going to use it. That's just one of those things. So to me, it's the correlation is there. I really don't. I despise the word hate because I don't really hate anyone or anything. You
I
just
don't either.
dislike it. You just
If you
dislike
do
it.
it, hey, if you do, Chris, it's fear-based. Hate is fear-based. You know,
Right.
l- if you look at it in that context, you see, looking at words and using the word react, no, respond. Like I say, one creates a new default for if one is really working on themselves in communication. Question your motivation. Use discernment in communication. uh,
Mm.
and people don't do that. Look at the ready fire aim uh, ghastly material appearing on social media.
Right. Right.
you know um, maybe I've diverted from what you were saying. What am I supposed to say?
No, you're
What was,
good. You're good. Listen, I love it. I love it. You just keep talking and let's keep vibing. I love this. So I wanna definitely ask you though, what is some advice you would give to I would say anyone, whether it's male or female that may be graduating from college that wants to be in the media industry, the radio industry, the journalism industry, like how you were. What is some advice you would give that individual now to be able to navigate through those waters?
I would tell them to read books like um, some of the books about broadcast or journalism writing. I've got a couple back there, and learn structure of words and sentences, and read all the media. um if they're in college, just take your classes, find out what you believe you love and are good at,
Mhm.
and follow that shooting star. um I would tell them to do that. And certainly, uh they really have to know what's going on. They have to be well rounded. I don't like that word either. But they have to consume news and sports and other aspects of news that they're with which they're unfamiliar, like economics, financial. uh
Right.
international. You understand what I'm saying? You got they must broaden themselves.
Right, be a jack
But
of all trades when it comes to learning different genres of the news and being more well equipped into the news is what you're trying to say.
exactly, it's not like you like today. Some people, women, will say, "Oh, I want to be an anchor woman or something." Well, let me tell you, it's a lot of work to get there, and you know that, Chris.
Right.
It's a lot
And
of
it is.
work if
No
that's what you
question.
want to do. Or you want to be a TikTok star, or you want to be some influencer, you, you're going to work at this, a lot of work and a lot of study too, Um, and I do think it's important to dive into the past and look and read some of the bios of people in the journalism business or sports journalism. Just get into it and find out how they got there, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A shadow
And
never hurts. Never hurts to shadow anybody, never hurts to have a mentor, it never hurts to reach out to people on LinkedIn or different kind of social media platforms to be able to, you know, get information allocated to them about how one got involved. It may not be the same path that that person took, but if you hear that it could be done, then you do it the best way that you can do it.
well, that's how you and I connected on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. No question
You know,
about it. No question.
LinkedIn has
So,
changed a lot. The footprint has changed. There's so much more than just a job seeker and employer uh,
right.
platform.
Absolutely.
I get
Absolutely.
people who write comments criticizing me for writing political news, and they say this is not a forum for politics. Well, look around; it's all over the place. All the major newspapers and broadcast outlets are on LinkedIn, and they post columns and things of that nature. It's changed a lot, and you know it because you've been on it.
Yes. I've been on it, read it, all the above. No question. Now,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, Marty. What is your day-to-day operations. Like when you get up in the morning, let's say Monday through Friday, a normal type of work week, what is your
Yeah.
day-to-day operations of what do you do? How much time do you spend working? How much time do you spend maybe just relaxing? Because you've been in the industry and been working from a very early age. So maybe, nowadays you kind of like, you know what, I want to pull back a little bit. I want to just kind of relax and chill, but then I'll go full throttle at this time. So what is your day-to-day operations that you do?
Well, I read everything I'm able to read. I've got all the apps. I subscribe to the New York Times and Washington Post, also New York
Mm,
Magazine. I
okay.
read I read the broadcast news on apps. Um, I read the Daily Beast. I love the Daily Beast. It's so funny. But that's what I do. I read all the papers, then I go to my email to see what's in there. And
Okay.
I have like 20 different email addresses. I know that sounds crazy, but I do. I I do. That's my thing. I was diagnosed obsessive compulsive years ago, and also what they used to call ADD. Now it's AHDH or some. What is ADHD or something like that?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
uh, Attention deficit disorder. Um,
Oh, I got you. Okay,
I,
got you. All right.
I got that and the obsessive compulsive thing, and I got something else, but another diagnosis. But I I that's I like things in order. Okay, so
Absolutely.
I read it in order, and then I go to my email, and I'm reading all day, Chris, and writing. I'm not as active on LinkedIn as I was. Um, However, yeah, that's exactly what I do. I watch TV in the background. You got to be able to multitask in our business. You know that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You got to be able to multitask. And I love the fact that you're talking about reading and writing. There's a lot of times I like to tell my younger students. especially in high school. When I do high school, that asked me about journalism, I said, "Listen, you got to read, you got to write, you got to find what your passion for writing is." You know, everybody doesn't want to write about Moby Dick, and everybody doesn't want to write about different things like that. I know I sure as hell didn't. I love sports, but some people might love music, some people might love history, some people might love English, right? Or fiction, nonfiction, whatever it may be. But find your passion, read a lot, and just try to consume as many articles and words that you possibly can. But I also tell them to try everything as well in journalism. You know, when you do go off to these colleges and these schools, don't put yourself in a box. I didn't. I did radio, I did magazine, I did newspaper, I did
Mm-hmm.
producing, directing. I did all the above because I want to see what I would like, what I don't like, and then that would also help me filter out what I want to do passionately, and it helped me. So I tell them, don't put yourself in a box because there's so many different things you can do, so many different things you could be great at, and besides, the more you learn, the more jack of a trades that you are, the more attractive you are to different companies and different people as well.
You know, I just I just love your positive energy and attitude. I said that before, Chris. I mean, you rock. This is just you are the gift that you are giving these students. It's just like my seventh grade math teacher who said there was no such word as can't. Now you are giving nuggets of gold to these students, and they will remember that. You may not think so.
Hmm.
However, they will remember how you presented it to them, and you couldn't do it any better the way you're
I
doing it now.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
appreciate that.
seriously. And they may, 20 years from now, they may remember something that you said. And that happens. Don't you remember things that m- people told you, like teachers and all that, that stick in your head years from now? Now, when you were
For
in
sure.
school, grammar school, or
Mhm.
whatever, college, your master's degree,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
yeah, that stick in your head, and
Mhm.
instructors and professors who made a difference for you, and it's stuck with you, and it'll stick with you forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. And I just try to pay it forward. That's the way that we try to do. That's what you're doing by paying it forward as well. Talking about that's your why of service. I love to be serviceable too. I love people. I love people in general. You understand that it may not resonate with everybody, but you also understand that it may resonate with somebody. And at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. You want to have your message resonate with somebody, especially in a journalism type sense,
Yeah.
because this is a profession that I'm passionate about, but I've also done the work. I've done section championships, state championships, professional games. I've covered this. I've wrote about this. I've done radio. I've done these type of things. Like those type of things I can tell you about being the only African American male in the media room or being the only African American period in the media room while they're asking questions. I could certainly tell you about that because I've been there and done that. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So it's the experiences that I try to pass on to the kids that are interested.
Hmm.
But I also try to tell them whatever passions that you have, whether it's journalism or a different occupation, let's make sure that we do it with all of our heart. Right? We can't half-ass anything in life. There's also life
No,
lessons
not at all. Not at
that we
all.
try to teach as well. So you can't half-ass anything. And my thing is, do whatever you do with love and conviction,
Yes.
and that's what I try
Love
to
is
tell
the opposite of fear. Love is the opposite of fear. You brought
them.
that
No
up
question.
about being the only black person in. I was the only white person when I was doing WKYS with the Ryan Cameron. Do you know who he is?
I do know
Atlanta.
Ryan Cameron. Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Ryan Ryan was the disc jockey, and we had a couple other people too. And I came in and did the news. I was outrageous. absolutely outrageous, and uh, it was fun working with Ryan. I made him laugh. I did. I
He
told a
is
few jokes.
somebody who I have diligently tried to get on this podcast. I'm hoping I'm hoping he answers me back sooner or later for sure. But he's definitely somebody who I want to talk to and hear his story as well for sure.
Well, I could try to connect with him and then have him connect with you.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. If I mean, certainly if you can, no doubt about it. But yeah, he's definitely somebody who I'm fond of. He used to call the Hawks games quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
as well. Obviously, he had a big time radio station out there in V103, in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. So he
Yep.
definitely did that. So I'm very fond of him for sure because he works extremely hard and he was extremely great at what he did. And obviously, you're very great at what you do as well.
Well,
I want
he
to.
gives back to the community too. He went right from DC to Atlanta, but
I love it.
he gives back to the community, and you remind me of him.
Oh,
I
well,
mean, not
thank you.
physically, but just the way you are, just your vibe. You know.
Well, I appreciate that, Marty. I really do. I really do. And I want to. You gave some great advice earlier, but I want to know what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Uh, Let me see. Um, my seventh grade math teacher. There's no such word as can't. Um, uh, don't marry a fifth husband.
A
I've
fifth
been,
husband.
I've been
Okay.
married
Oh,
4 times.
wow.
I
Wow.
have one
Well, that
daughter who's 42,
okay.
but I've been married 4 times, and if I look back, I think it's directly linked to my alcohol career and my pathology and everything like that. I take accountability, and one piece of advice I would say: accept responsibility, take accountability for your own actions. Don't try
Sure.
to offload it on someone else. Take responsibility.
Yeah.
Be honest. Be honest. Uh, no defense mechanisms, justification, rationalization, minimization, or whatever. And be true to yourself. Find out who you are, and always, always, always replace fear with love, and connect with your higher power if you have one.
Mm, good
Meditate.
advice.
Learn how to meditate and get quiet. I have a great meditation that I learned from a psychic in DC who came to DC from California at the behest of Betty Ford's press secretary.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff, this Googa Googa stuff or whatever you want to call it, woo woo stuff going on even in the White House, and it has since before Nancy Reagan. But
Sure. Sure.
learn how to meditate. There's, all you got to do. What I tell people is imagine there's some God up there throwing lightning bolts, hurling them into your head, sparkling light, pushing out all the negativity and different colors, whatever color you want. I can get into an altered state doing this, healing white light, violet light,
Right.
whatever, sparkling through your body. That's one good thing to do. You got
I
to get
love
rid
it.
of that negativity. And I'm in a position because I work with people where I'm almost like a shrink, really. Shrinks don't do much. What do? You go in their office, you pay $200. How's your week? What you got to do is you got to take a deep dive into somebody's childhood and find the thread that runs all the way through their life up to that point. That's the only way to work with people, and it is intense. It really is. And I can see sexual abuse when they don't even admit it. I see stuff, I just do. And um, that's what you got to do. You got to find out about their childhood, and it's really
Mhm.
important. That's the
Okay.
only way you can work with someone. Why am I blathering on about this?
No, that's okay. Again. Listen, we are having a great conversation here. I love that, Marty. I really do, and I want to play my interactive game with you, which is my actually final thing that I'm going to do with you, and it's called This or That. Okay, it's the interactive game that I like to do with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's very simple. I'm gonna throw
All
some
right.
things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Marty, are you
I
ready?
love this. I love you. Absolutely. All
Okay,
right,
here
go.
we go. Let's rock with
Go.
it, baby. Let's rock with it.
All
Out
right.
of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather go into and sit down and eat? Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Do I have to pick one?
Well, I would like for you to, but it doesn't seem like you
Or
want to.
well, I don't want to go there. How about Texas Roadhouse?
Texas Roadhouse. Okay. Now, let me ask you. This is kind of a bonus one. What is your favorite steakhouse to go to?
In the old days, it was Sam and Harry's in D.C., and I don't even know if it's there anymore.
Okay, Sam and Harry's. I got you. I'm more of a I do like Texas Roadhouse, but if you twisted my arm, the best steakhouse that I've been to is Ruth Chris. Ruth
I
Chris
know,
Steakhouse.
I know. You're
Yeah.
right. It is. It is Morton's, Ruth Chris, the Palm. I was a fixture at the Palm in D.C. I have some real.
Mhm.
You want to hear my story about that or no?
No, yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Well, when I was drinking, and this was in the '90s, I'd go there. Even the maitre d knew me, and the waiters. It was a restaurant. It was a power restaurant in D.C. The power restaurant. And people would go there. I was sitting with two gossip columnists in a booth, one from
Mm.
the Washingtonian magazine, the other from the Washington Post, and the Palm serves like fishbowl size glasses of wine. Well, I think it was when the movie When Harry Met Sally was out. So
Oh, that's okay. Got you.
I decided I was going to stand up at the end of the booth and recreate Meg Ryan's having that fake orgasm in the restaurant in Katz's Deli in New York with Billy Crystal. I'm in this restaurant. Yeah, I did it. I did it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I
I
mean, I
remember
was,
that scene.
yeah, well, I was crazy. I wasn't thinking straight, and this was in the '90s, so I'm doing that. But the guys just, if I recall, because I was pretty drunk, the guys just looked at me, my gossip columnist friends. They didn't write me up. They didn't write me up in the publications or anything for doing that crazy thing. But yeah, I did that. I did a lot of other crazy things, Chris,
That's
which I
okay.
love.
And listen, we are going to talk about a lot of those crazy things offline when we link up with each other because I cannot wait to hear some of those stories for sure.
Uh,
No question
li-
about that.
Listen, I've got a lot of stories, many,
I
many,
love it.
many, many stories because I am off the wall. I'm much better
Okay.
than yeah. My life was saved because
I love
of
it.
my third husband saved my life by
I love that.
forcing me into treatment. But yeah, I've had four husbands, but I wouldn't have done this if I wouldn't have been so crazy. I would have been able to navigate relationships, and I was unable to do it. I'm still, I still have trouble. I don't particularly like emotional involvement. I'm still a work in progress, Chris. We all
As
are on this
right?
planet.
Aren't we all? Are we all
Y-
still just a work in progress?
Yes, we are, Chris. Absolutely. On this
For
planet,
sure.
yeah. Yeah. One foot in
For
the other,
sure.
in front of the other. That's all we can do. We live
Yes,
for
indeed.
today because today is all we have.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, I
Yeah.
want to ask you, are you a chicken wing person?
No.
So no chicken wings. Okay. Now, that's good because I got a bonus for you. I'm going to ask you these next 5 questions have to
All
do with
right.
music concerts you rather attend. Okay. So here we go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Okay. Would you rather go see in their primes, by the way? Would you rather go see Prince or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I love the Jackson Five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Now, which music concert would you rather go see in their prime? Would you rather go see Aretha Franklin or Marvin Gaye?
I got to go with Marvin. I love Marvin. I actually went to a XM radio thing and I sat. Aretha Franklin sang it. Was at the post office in D.C. This was a private thing, and
Hmm.
she was like as far away like as you are. You know, I was right up there sitting at the table. I love Aretha. She's from Detroit,
She
and
is.
but Marvin, man, oh, Marvin.
Oh, I
Unfortunate
understand.
that his father shot him. Gosh.
That is unfortunate. No question about that. And listen, we are 2 for 2 in agreement because both of the concerts you picked, I would certainly pick. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. Now, this
All
one's going
right.
to be hard. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see the OJs or the Spinners?
Oh my God, I love both of them, but I'm going to have to say the Spinners.
Girl, you on point like a period. That's what I would say. You are on point like a
Well,
period. No question.
we
No
had.
question about that.
I knew we had a lot in common.
Yes, we do.
I,
We definitely do. I love that. Okay, so you got the Spinners. Here we go. Let's go 4 for 4. Staying with the groups. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Smokey Robinson and the Miracles or the Temptations?
oh, the Temptations.
You sat back on that one. Oh man, that one must have been a little difficult. Okay,
What about
okay.
you?
That particular one, I'm definitely gonna go Temptations. Definitely gonna go
Okay.
Temptations on that one. So we're still
Well,
4 for 4.
we're in sync
So
here.
we're in sync here. So here we go. This is the final music one. Let's see if we can stay in sync. Which music concert would you rather go see? Whitney Houston or Janet Jackson?
Whitney.
That is where we fell off. I would have said Janet for sure, but it's close. It's
It's
close.
close.
It's
Close.
very
It's
close.
okay. I mean,
It-
basically, with the exception of that one, we're walking together, baby.
There we are. We are in sync. No question about that, Marty. Now let's see. Let's go back to the sports. Which sport, if I asked you to watch it on TV, which sport would you rather watch on TV? Football or baseball?
Baseball.
Who's your team? Who's your baseball team?
Detroit Tigers. Yay. Whoops.
Right? Detroit Tigers. I'm with you. Okay, 313, stand up. I'm with you on that. Okay, Detroit
All
Tigers.
right.
Now, which sport, if we're going out to play, which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
I was horrible at bowling because I only see with one eye at a time because I had strabismus and I had operations, and
Oh, okay.
cosmetically it looks good, but okay. So bowling's out. Badminton,
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Now, do you like dessert?
yes.
Okay, I'm going to name 4 categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these categories that you will never eat again. So this is the hypothetical. Okay, so here we go. The first category is cookies. The next category is candy. The third category is grouped together. So it's going to be pies/cakes.
Okay.
The last category of the sweets is ice cream. Which one are you
Okay.
getting rid of?
Uh, if I ate all of them, you mean? There's one that I'm gonna ditch?
Mhm. Yeah, one that you got to ditch, get rid of.
Cookies.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you, Marty, what is your favorite ice cream?
Now? What do I
Yeah,
like now?
period, all time. What's your favorite ice cream?
Um, butter pecan.
Wow. Now, mind you, I want you to, this is definitely on the record. I have never had butter pecan ice cream.
Really? What's your
Yes.
favorite? What's your
Mine is
favorite?
cookies and cream. Cookies and cream.
Oh yeah, I've tasted it. My
Hmm.
my grandsons liked it. When they used to come over to visit me, I'd have cookies and cream and I'd have all this stuff they liked, Oreos and M&Ms to
Absolutely.
sprinkle on top of the cookies and cream, those mini M&Ms. I
Absolutely.
also like
Yes.
gelato. Talenti makes some great gelato. Have
Okay.
you ever
I'm
had
gonna have to
have you ever had
keep that in
Talenti
mind.
gelato? Different kinds.
No, I never had gelato, but I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because I'm intrigued. I definitely want to try some of that for sure.
Well, just try it. I mean, you can get it in other places, but the Talenti, one is able to buy it at the grocery store. So,
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, do you like potato chips?
yes.
Okay, same format. I'm gonna name four brands of potato chips. You have to choose one of these brands that you would never eat again. So here we go. First brand is gonna be Doritos. The
Oh my
second
God.
brand is gonna
Okay.
be Lay's.
Mm-hmm.
The third brand is gonna be Pringles. The last brand is going to be Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Well, it would have to be Doritos. My daughter and I used to go through bags of that when she was growing up, and boy, you got to have a major mouth cleaning after that. Smell. It's the smell. I don't like smell.
I feel that. I do not like some smell either like that for sure.
Mm.
Now I'm gonna ask you if we're walking into a store and I say go to the chip aisle, what chip are you buying? What's your favorite chip to eat?
I'd probably get the Lay's low salt, reduced salt chip. That's what I would get.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
it's
What
not
about
bad.
you? Do you like that?
W well, my favorite chip nowadays I have to cut back on eating because I have to, watch myself and stuff like that, and I am a diabetic, for sure. But so now it's more so baked chips. I like the
Oh, I see.
barbecue baked chips. I like those. But back in the day, I was a sour cream and onion guy. So definitely sour cream and onion.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good too. That dip
yeah,
and
so
everything.
that's what I really, really loved for sure. No
Mm,
question.
that's
Um,
you're making me hungry.
I know, right? I know, and it's
Hmm.
perfect timing because we have came to the end of our podcast. This is absolutely amazing of the conversation that I've had with you, Marty. Learning more about your life, your why, growing up in Michigan, your why of going to school, your why of being in journalism, your why of service, your advice to younger people as well, and just who you are as a person. I mean, obviously talented, beautiful, driven, all the above is that is what you are. And I love the fact that you came on my platform to talk about your why and your story. I really feel honored and appreciated. And my final question to you before I let you go ahead is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, journalism, anything at all before we conclude?
I wish that media would stop referring to a lectern as a podium. The podium is Latin, pod is Latin, and a podium is the platform on which the lectern is placed.
Mm,
I know that sounds crazy, but I'm really into words and the usage. I've been that way for years. And that annoys me. There's only the New York Times will say lectern, and the Harris Faulkner on Fox News says lectern. Obviously, those are the only two. I know. Okay, now the other advice is out of self and into others. You get
mm,
rid of the bondage of self. You know, concentrate on serving others, out of self into others, and get rid of the bondage of self, because that way, that's all fear based. And I'm telling you that your whole life will change. I guarantee it. If you excise fear from your earthly existence. Amen.
mm. Amen to that. Definitely. Lead with love. Omit
Hmm.
fear. I love that. Omit fear out of your lives. I love that. And absolutely love the fact that I got a chance to talk with you today, Marty. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon or evening, and you and I will most certainly stay in touch and be in touch.
Oh, no kidding. You're going to Emmett's in Waxhaw. I'm taking you there.
Absolutely. No question
I
about it.
promise.
Looking forward to that. And
I
listen,
absolutely
again,
love you.
I, I,
I know I stepped on your line, but honestly, I absolutely love you, Chris. You just radiate good vibes.
well, listen, I love the fact that you are on here too. I love you as well. You take care and you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And like I said, you and I will definitely be in touch. I'll be seeing you soon.
I hope so. I hope so. Bye bye. That was fun. Cheese.